Karnataka has established itself as the leading hub for electronic system design and manufacturing in India, contributing 10% to the nation's electronics output. We are also home to 400 plus MNCs with global R&D centers. With over 100 fabulous chip design houses and 40% national share in electronic design, Karnataka stands as a prominent hub for chip innovation in India. Invest Karnataka 2025 will bring more global players to benefit from the state's strong and tech-enabled ecosystem.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that addresses all your stock-related queries. Now, in case you're still wondering in this week's setup in the markets, what should you be doing with the stocks in your portfolio? If there are fresh stocks emerging onto your radar, is it the right time to grab onto those? And many other such questions, then you can write into us. The WhatsApp number is flashing on your screens. Don't forget to mention your own name, location and your contact details when you send us your questions here. We can also get you an opportunity to speak to the top market experts live on the show and get your queries answered in a custom made fashion as well. So write down all those queries to us on this WhatsApp number. Alternatively, you can also use the YouTube platform in case you're watching our program live there. Then use the comment section to also send in us questions there and I can pick up those questions to address it with our guest. Let's also welcome our guest on board who will be answering and taking up all your questions today. Kushal Gandhi joins in, technical analyst at Stockbox. Kushal, warm welcome. Good afternoon to you. Good to have you on Daily Calls. 200 points of a loss on the Nifty. We've also slipped below 23,400 mark right now. What exactly is the setup looking like? Two of the major events are already behind us, the budget and the RBI policy. Both of them have actually delivered on promises and have actually been cheered a lot by market participants, analysts, economists at large too. But yet the market needle has not moved. What exactly is the worry for the markets?
Markets have had some certain good news, and we've already the streets have cheered the markets. We've seen a pre-budget rally, some 1,000 point rally from the pre-budget. From the budget week, and I think that has succumbed to some profit booking considering the 1,000 point move. So I guess going forward, the vicinity of 23,730 to 23,780. It holds a very crucial resistance zone because that's where you find your 50 DMA and your 50 weekly moving average. So I think over the last 1.5 week, the kind of move that we've seen, it's been a transitional shift from going from oversold conditions to extremely overbought conditions, within the intermediate trend. So I think that has resulted in profit booking. Now speaking on the support levels, I think today 23,330 odds holds a very crucial support zone. I think if on the closing basis we close about 23,330, I think that'll be a positive sign. However, failing to do so, I think 2350 is another levels to watch out for. I think another interesting technical standpoint comes in is that during this down leg, we've seen some intermediate reversals happening around the 50 DMA. And like I mentioned, Nifty is trading somewhere around 50 DMA right now. So I think some sort of caution is warranted. And I think levels of 2330 followed by 2350 should be very closely monitored.
Okay, got that. Well, Kushal, we are already getting a lot of questions from our viewers, so we'll straight away dive into those specific queries for you that are coming in. We'll first take our YouTube questions that are coming in from Avnish Chaudhary first. He's our first viewer who's written in and says, "Hi Sakshi, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you also, Avnish. Hope you're doing well." His question is on the defense-related stocks, Shipping Corporation of India, HAL, Paras Defense, and he wants to know इन सब पर किस लेवल पर एंट्री किया जाए लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए अगर निवेश करना हो तो. आई एम गेसिंग अवनीश दैट यू हैव fresh investments to make on these stocks and you don't have any existing positions. Let's discuss the defense space. Again, this has been a space which has been in a long haul consolidation. Many have corrected quite a bit from their highs. Earnings also, for instance, for Shipping Corporation has not given any support there. Any suggestion here? Should one really look at these stocks at this point in time or should one really wait for sentiments to turn better? HAL, Paras Defense, Shipping Corporation of India.
Well, speaking about the defense sector, we've seen some significant rise in the past, and as a result, it's succumbed to some profit booking. And I think the drawdowns are now minimal. They are showing some signs to bottom out. But I think now defense as a sector might undergo some accumulation phase to garner certain bullish strength. So I believe that the defense pack, entirely can trend sideways. So my sense is to not, completely or rather get aggressively invested, just with an intention to bottom fish. I would recommend rather, just progressively start accumulating in counters like BDL, BEML, or HL, the counters that are now showing certain strengths. So yeah, I mean, since it's going through an accumulation phase, so my sense is to progressively start investing into the defense sector, but not completely.
Okay, I hope Avnish this has answered your question. We'll go across to the next one. This is from Satya CK, says good afternoon Sakshi. I want to know if I can switch from my current investment in VGuard. I'm sitting on 15% profit here and I want to shift to either Siemens or ABB from the capital goods space for 1 to 1.5 years for better returns. Will it be a good idea to switch from VGuard, where he's sitting on profits, to now switch to either ABB or Siemens? Your suggestion.
Well, I would recommend, to avoid this counter as of now. I mean, the sector itself, because the sectors are completely trading into the stock, stage 4 of the stock cycle analysis. So the drawdowns might continue further. They're not showing any signs of bottoming out or undergoing some accumulation phase. The shorter term moving averages are acting as constant supply across all the three stocks. So any meaningful recovery is getting rejected instantly. So my sense is to avoid avoid all the three stocks as of now, and probably just book your losses in case you're holding in any of the three counters.
Fair point. Okay, I hope this has answered your question. We have next Anuj Singh writing in. He says, good afternoon ma'am, I want to know on Indigen Limited 555 के रेट पर 500 शेयर्स खरीदे हुए हैं, इनमें लगभग 12% तक का प्रॉफिट हो रहा है, तो इसे होल्ड करें या फिर सेल कर दें? चलिए, इंडीजीन बोल रहे होंगे, शायद उन्होंने इंडीजेन लिखा है. इंडीजीन एक हाल फिलहाल में लिस्टेड कंपनी है और इसके ऊपर जानना चाह रहे हैं. 555 के रेट पर उन्होंने खरीदा हुआ है ये स्टॉक और 500 शेयर्स हैं इनके पास और फिलहाल 12% तक के प्रॉफिट पर हैं. 622 करंट इसका स्टॉक का प्राइस है और इंडीजीन लिमिटेड की यहाँ पर बात हो रही है. लॉन्ग टर्म चार्ट्स तो शायद आपके पास नहीं होंगे यहाँ पर, लेकिन ओवरऑल इंडीजीन को देखते हुए क्या 12% तक का प्रॉफिट बुक कर लें या फिर बने रहें अभी भी?
रेकमेंड कि आप अपने पोजीशंस फिलहाल होल्ड करिए आफ्टर ऑलमोस्ट लाइक अ 56-57% ऑफ राइज फ्रॉम द जून 24 लो. सो वहां से आपको थोड़ा प्रॉफिट बुकिंग दिख रहा है बिकॉज वी सीन सम सिग्निफिकेंट अपसाइड. सो द स्टॉक इज अंडरगोइंग कंसोलिडेशन फेज राइट नाउ, जहां पे एक साइन है कि एक्यूमुलेशन हो रहा है. सो माय सेंसेस कि आप स्टॉक को होल्ड ऑन करिए विद अ स्टॉप लॉस, विद अ वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट स्टॉप लॉस नियर 584, जहां पे स्टॉक ने भी बॉटम बनाया हुआ है. सो इट्स ट्राइंग टू मेक सम एक्यूमुलेशन फेजेस अराउंड हियर. तो 584 के स्टॉप लॉस के लेवल्स के साथ आप अपना पोजीशंस होल्ड कर सकते हो. मेरा इमीडिएट टारगेट ऑन द अपसाइड इज 675 फॉलोड बाय 709.
ओके, नेक्स्ट हम लेते हैं सवाल अभिषेक झा का. ये लिखते हैं, नमस्कार, मुझे लॉन्ग टर्म व्यू चाहिए EIH लिमिटेड पर. शुड आई बाय एट द करंट लेवल्स? ओके, फ्रॉम द होटल स्पेस दिस क्वेरी कम्स इनटू East India Hotels or EIH Limited. Any suggestion here? Will it be a good purchase at the current levels for long term? 371 is the current price.
So definitely sell, because अगर आप price structure देखोगे, it's trading with a lower high, lower low price structure, which is a very definite indication of stock trending with a downtrend. Again, on the relative strength front, it's been constantly losing strength as compared to general markets and Nifty. So my sense is, with 250 DM acting as overhead resistance, any meaningful recovery that you see might get rejected. So until unless a stock does not cross 437, 440 odds, is best to sell.
Okay, got that. चलिए, we'll take the next question. हमारे पास कुछ WhatsApp के ज़रिए भी सवाल आ रहे हैं, तो कुछ viewers के सवाल हम WhatsApp के ज़रिए भी लेंगे. Let's take this first one. This question is from Chandan Jain. He's from Hubli in Karnataka and he wants to know on M&M, Mahindra and Mahindra. He has this stock at the rate of 600 shares he has, and at about 3,500 he bought the stock. He wants to know what exactly should he be really looking at. Let me just read out his question. It's not very clear. Let's pull up the stock also. if he has actually bought the stock at 600, Chandanji, clarify it to me in case you've really bought the stock at 600, because what you've written is that you have M&M at 600 and you want to hold further till 3500. That's what you want to know. Current price is 3190. If that is truly the case, let's try and understand in that fashion. But I don't even remember, frankly, when was M&M back at 600 odd levels. Kushal, what would you want to say on M&M if somebody is really holding it since the level of 600 bonanza in the time of in terms of returns? What exactly should one be doing?
Well, first of all, congratulations to the investor for some monumental profits. Well, speaking of M&M, I feel the stock is undergoing some consolidation phase. Now there are two theories. Auto as an index is trying to bottom out. So कैसे होता है कि जब आपका कोई index bottom out कर रहा हो या कोई stocks bottom out कर रहा हो, you should always look for stocks which are trading near with the auto index because वहाँ पे आपकी volatility थोड़ा ज्यादा होती है. So when you're trading in stocks which are trading at a 52-week high, when your when index is trading at all-time lows with some volatility increasing, तो वहां पे आपको some
Okay.
risk reward challenges per se. So my sense is that because he's sitting on some very significant amount of profits, it's best to book out and look for avenues like TVS Motors or Maruti that look more promising in terms of risk reward and in terms of the rise that they're giving from the demand zone.
So should he hold on till the price of 3500 arrives, or should he exit now?
Book some profits and
Book
hold
some
the remaining
profits.
quantity with a stop loss near 2945.
Got it. So Chandanji, the suggestion for you is that book out partially, look at some other options like a TVS motor that Kushal has suggested, where you get better risk rewards to continue to build on profits, and you can hold on some quantity of M&M as well. Any which ways that quantity could be your free shares, and you can actually pull up a large part of your capital gain that you've also got here and switch your money, some part of it at least, to some of the other stocks. That's the suggestion. Okay, let's take another one. Let's take this question from Gul. And Gul says, I have Nalco shares. I purchased them at 248 odd levels. I'm currently on a loss. I can hold it for 1 year. How are the prospects of this company? And at what price should I average or add more? Could you please suggest? For sure, Gul, you are stuck in a space which is the worst affected because of the global turmoil that's also taking place. There is this fear of Trump tariffs on metals, aluminium, and probably that is really one of the dampening effects at this space. But this entire space has also been extremely volatile. Kushal, your suggestion on Nalco, if somebody is sitting on losses, better to switch, or should one continue to hold on?
Recommend the investor to exit his or her position simply because the stock is trading almost 30% from the peaks, with shorter term moving averages on the daily chart acting as constant supply zone. So yeah, I mean the stock is trading below 200 DM and 50 DMA, so it already implies bearish implications. In terms of strength, it's been deteriorating constantly, and the stock lacks momentum as of now. Plus, metal as an index is also, showing some lackluster movements as of now. So it's best to avoid the counter, or rather, best to avoid the sector as of now.
Fair point. So stay away. That's the kind of message that's coming in on the metals pack for all the viewers who are still looking at an opportunity here. Let's take another one. We have Kunal Shinde writing in. I have bought Motilal Oswal shares at a price of 800. I can hold this stock for 1 year. What's the view on this one? A wealth creator of the past, Kushal. 2024, it doubled investors' money too. Motilal Oswal Financial Services. It's been one of the best performers in the capital market story. At 650 odd levels, it's definitely come off our viewers' purchase level. But the problem is that despite having good fundamentals, despite going well with the theme, the stock has come off. Is it good time to average out some of the stocks right here? For 1 year perspective, what exactly is your view on Motilal Oswal?
No, speaking of Motilal, if you just consider the period from March 23 lows to almost October 24 highs, the move is almost like a 672%. Without any major dents in the price action. And the correction that we're currently witnessing, which is almost like 40% from peak, is the steepest correction that the stock has witnessed in the recent times. So my sense is the stock is now getting into a stage 4 where drawdowns can be a little more harsher and it can succumb with more volatility. Right now, the stock is almost trading below the 50-week moving average, which can likely act as stiff overhead resistance. So my sense is to sell the stock. If you're holding some profits, it's best to book profits in the counter.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has also answered your question. Let's take this question from our WhatsApp number. Lavisha from Jalandhar writes in and says, I need views on Apollo Microsystem. I bought it at 105. The other stock is Ashoka Buildcon, which I bought at 195. Should I hold or sell? What would the advice be? Let's discuss Apollo Microsystems first. 105 is the purchase level.
Polo Microsystem, if you see largely, from almost November 23 highs, the stock has been trading in a very broad range of 40%. So it's failed to offer any kind of directional bias. Just from the current market price, if you see, over the recent times, just from January, the stock has been showing a lot of volatility and it's been chopping around its shorter term moving averages. So this can turn out to be, like a distribution phase. So my sense is the distribution idea confirms below breach below the demand zone near 117. So I have a neutral view as of now. If it breaches the 117 demand zone, then it's a definitely sell. And probably like any meaningful rise I see is coming above 145. So I have a neutral view as of now.
Okay, got that. Let's take another one. This is Ashoka Buildcon. Ashoka Buildcon, Lavisha is bought at 195.
Well, Sugar Buildcon is also, under some profit booking and it's trading near 200 DMA very thinly. So I have a negative view as of now because the shorter term moving averages are acting as constant resistance. A breach below 238, 235 watt levels can, invite further selling pressure. So it's best to sell the stock at the current market price.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has answered your question. We'll take the next one. This is from our YouTube viewers list. Samvit Nageshwar writes in, good afternoon Sakshi, and good afternoon to all the Business Today viewers. Good afternoon to you also, Samvit. Thanks for writing in. Now he wants to know, is it a good time to invest in Hero Moto or Tata Motors as a fresh entry? Again, the auto space for you, Kushal, and what would you suggest? One is from the two-wheelers leader, Hero Moto, and the other one is Tata Motors, which has been consistently in a painful consolidation zone, slipping below 700 mark, also testing that crucial mark as well, time and again. Your sense?
Well, the most common thing between Hero and Tata, if you see, both the stocks have been trading downwards, with even though there has been some repair within the auto segment. So my sense is to avoid both the counters, but from a shorter term opportunity, from a trading opportunity, I think Hero MotoCorp can do well. It's offering a very lucrative risk reward ratio if you go to see. So just from a very short term opportunity, I feel Hero Moto can give you some opportunity. So with a stop loss near 4143, I would recommend to hold for an immediate target of 4520, followed by 4655.
Okay, fair point. Okay, I hope this has answered your question. Let's take the other one. This one is from Mohit from Ludhiana, and he wants to know on Restaurant Brands Asia, which is the operator of Burger Kings in India. 500 shares of Restaurant Brands Asia at the rate of 106 and the time horizon of 3 years. What should one be really doing? Okay, so the purchase level is over 106, so sitting on massive losses, 3% down in trade. If we stretch the charts also, there hasn't been much considerable move on the higher side as well. Should one hold on for the next 3 years or switch at this point in time? And maybe you could suggest, will it be better to in fact switch from burgers to pizza, or the makers of Pepsi, for instance, like a Varun Beverages, Devyani International or Jubilant Foods? What exactly is your thought here?
Well, for Restaurant Brand Asia, it's a definitely sell because if you see from the listing week, the stock has been trending downwards with no evidences of recovery. So, it's best to not try to catch a falling knife. So, it's a definitely sell on Restaurant Brand. From the FMCG sector, I think something like a Tata Consumer looks good. The stock is bottoming out and the sector itself has shown some very nice catalyst, post budget. So I think Tata Consumer something looks like a very at a very nice lucrative demand zone. The risk reward is quite favorable. So yeah, I would recommend switching from Restaurant Brand Asia to Tata Consumer at this market juncture.
Okay, so switch from burgers at this point in time. That's the suggestion that is being suggested to you at this point. I hope this has answered your question. Let's take the next one. Vineet Kulkarni says, when will BSE stock come under 2000? प्लीज एक्सप्लेन इन हिंदी। जरूर विनीत, आपका सवाल हिंदी में लिया जाएगा। बीएसई स्टॉक में शायद ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज खोज रहे हैं निवेश की, और इस स्टॉक ने भी काफ़ी उम्दा परफॉर्मेंस दिया है। पिछले वर्ष 2024 में इस स्टॉक ने काफ़ी बढ़िया रिटर्न्स निवेशकों को दिए हैं, और ये जानना चाहते हैं 5,600 से गिरकर 2,000 के नीचे ये स्टॉक कब आ सकता है। ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट होगा बताने के लिए विनीत कुलकर्णी जी कि 5,500 का स्टॉक 2,000 के नीचे कब जाएगा। कोई वजह भी होनी चाहिए, या तो अर्निंग्स बहुत ज़्यादा खराब हो जाए या फिर कंपनी के बिजनेस पर कोई असर पड़ जाए। लेकिन आप एक ऐसे स्टॉक के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं जिसका डायरेक्ट रिलेशन एक्सचेंज ही है, जो एक स्टॉक मतलब जिसमें स्टॉक मार्केट्स में जितने लोगों का भरोसा बढ़ता रहेगा, इकोनॉमी जिस तरीके से बढ़ती चली जाएगी, अगर पैसा यहाँ पर आता रहेगा रिटेल और एफआईआईस की तरफ से, तो ये एक ऐसा स्पेस है जो कि स्टॉक मार्केट्स की तरफ से देखा जाए तो बढ़ता हुआ एक क्षेत्र है। और जिस तरीके से डिमांड ज़रूर बढ़ती हुई नजर आई हमें पिछले 2024 में, देखना ये है कि उस पेस पे बढ़ेगा या फिर यहाँ पर कुछ डेंट आ सकता है। तो पहले तो कुशल जी ये बताइए, बीएसई के स्टॉक पर अभी भी आप पिछले एक साल में जो 140% का रिटर्न दिया है, इसके बाद भी बुलिश है, या फिर आपको लगता है कि कुछ करेक्शन की उम्मीद है? और अगर करेक्शन की उम्मीद है तो क्या ये करंट प्राइसेस से हाफ से भी ज़्यादा गिर सकता है या नहीं, ये सवाल है।
डेफिनेटली यहाँ से फ्रेश एंट्री नहीं बनती है बिकॉज द स्टॉक इज ट्रेडिंग क्वाइट एक्सपेंसिव। तो यहाँ पे आपका रिस्क रिवॉर्ड रेशियो काफी अनफेवरिंग होगा। राइट नाउ अगर आप देखोगे तो स्टॉक थोड़ा चॉपी ट्रेड कर रहा है विच कैन बी पोटेंशियल साइंस ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। हालांकि उसका कंफर्मेशन आता है बिलो द डिमांड जोन ऑफ 5126। तो जब तक उसके नीचे ब्रीच नहीं करता यहाँ पे कोई सेलिंग प्रेशर दिख नहीं रहा है। बट अगेन द स्टॉक इज ट्रेंडिंग साइडवेज, तो एक डायरेक्शनल बायस यहाँ पे मिल नहीं रहा है। तो अगर आप होल्ड कर रहे हो तो आप डेफिनेटली होल्ड करिए with a very strict stop loss near 5144 एंड a breach below that, वहां पे आपको थोड़ा सेलिंग प्रेशर दिख सकता है। अगर वो होता है तो मुझे लग रहा है डाउन साइड में दूसरा एक इंपॉर्टेंट सपोर्ट आ रहा है नियर 4200।
ओके चलिए, यहाँ पर भी आपको राय मिल गई है। नेक्स्ट हम लेते हैं सवाल हार्दिक पटेल का। ये सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं कुछ पीएसयू रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स के ऊपर आपसे कुशल, और इनका सवाल है एनटीपीसी, बीएचईएल, कोल इंडिया, ओएनजीसी जैसे सभी स्टॉक्स पर, एनर्जी फोकस्ड जो स्टॉक्स हैं खास तौर पर, इसको लेते हुए इनका सवाल है पीएसयू स्टॉक्स में कि यहाँ पर अभी क्या नज़रिया है। और ये सभी पे इनका लॉसेस जो है तकरीबन 30% के हिसाब हो रहा है। तो यानी कि ये स्टॉक्स इनके पास पोर्टफोलियो में भी हैं, एनटीपीसी, बीएचईएल, कोल इंडिया, ओएनजीसी जैसे स्टॉक्स, ये सभी ऐसे स्टॉक्स हैं जिन्होंने 2024 में बढ़िया रिटर्न्स दिए हैं। प्रॉब्लम ये हुई कि इन्होंने शायद हायर लेवल्स पर खरीद लिया, और उसके बाद से अब ये जैसे जैसे करेक्शन आया 30% से ऊपर तक का, तो इनके पोर्टफोलियो में इन सभी स्टॉक्स ने उतना नुकसान दिखाया है। अब यहाँ क्या करें?
पीएसयू काउंटर्स में अगर आप देखोगे तो कॉन्स्टेंटली सेलिंग प्रेशर चल रहा है एंड लॉट ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशंस के बजट से कुछ कैटलिस्ट मिल जाए, न्यूज कैटलिस्ट मिल जाए। बट अगेन वहां पे भी हमें कुछ ज्यादा एक्साइटमेंट नहीं मिली इन टर्म्स ऑफ एनी पॉजिटिव डेवलपमेंट्स। सो स्टॉक्स कंटिन्यू ट्रेंड डाउनवर्ड्स, और जो शॉर्टर टर्म मूविंग एवरेज है वो अभी भी एक सप्लाई जोन के जैसा एक्ट कर रहे हैं अक्रॉस ऑलमोस्ट ऑल योर पीएसयू काउंटर्स। सो माय सेंसेस के ये जो पूरे पीएसयू सेक्टर में है अभी भी वीकनेस परसिस्ट कर रही है, और देयर इज नो मेजर साइंस ऑफ रिकवरी या एनी साइंस ऑफ द सेक्टर अटेम्प्टिंग टू बॉटम आउट। तो मेरा सेंस है कि यहाँ पे आप अपना पोजीशन थोड़ा ट्रिम कर दीजिए बिकॉज सेलिंग प्रेशर माइट कंटिन्यू फर्दर। जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि मार्केट्स भी थोड़ी यहाँ से थोड़ी ब्लीक लग रहे हैं। सो अगेन लेट्स से इफ वी आर सीइंग अ फ्रेश डाउन लेग इन द मार्केट्स, आई थिंक पीएचयू एक काउंटर रहेगा जहाँ पे आपको प्रेशर ज्यादा दिख सकता है रिलेटिवली।
ओके गॉट दैट। चलिए कुशल, एक काम करते हैं, एक छोटा सा ब्रेक लेंगे अभी, एंड व्यूअर्स विल बी बैक आफ्टर दिस वेरी शॉर्ट ब्रेक। इन केस यू स्टिल हैव अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस दैट यू नीड टू आस्क कुशल टू हेल्प यू आउट विद ऑन योर स्पेसिफिक स्टॉक स्ट्रेटजीज, कंटिन्यू टू राइट इन टू अस। विल बी बैक शॉर्टली राइट आफ्टर दिस शॉर्ट ब्रेक।
Invest Karnataka 2025 is our chance to showcase Karnataka's best to the world. The business community, startups, academia, and even youngsters, I invite everyone to be part of this mega platform. From February 11th to 14th, let the world witness why Karnataka is the best destination to invest.
Welcome back. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Daily Calls. I'm Sakshi Batra. With me is our guest from Stockbox, Kushal, who's helping all our viewers out with their queries and the strategies that they need to adopt on the stocks in their portfolio. Kushal, we will take the next question for you. This one we will actually try and take from our WhatsApp questions that are coming in. Okay, so this is Siva Prasad from Nellore. He says, I need a short-term target for Sonata software. I've already just bought it as a new entry, but I need a short-term target on this one. If you could look at the short-term charts and tell us what is the next target on this one?
Well, actually, I have a bearish view on Sonata software simply because the street hasn't reacted well to the earnings.
Yeah.
We've seen a massive gap down, and again the selling pressure continues today. So my sense is from a shorter term opportunity, अगर आप देखोगे तो I would recommend like hold with a very very strict stop loss near 458. The potential upside that I see during the intraday is 492, provided the levels of 479, 475 is taken out. Otherwise, the selling pressure might just continue.
Okay, let's take another one. This one is from Anupam Singh in Varanasi. He's also written on our WhatsApp and he wants to know on Blue Star. Now, he has bought this stock at the rate of 1750. He holds 1000 shares in his portfolio. His view is short. 6 months. He wants to know what is the upside and the support level that you could suggest to him. 1977 is the current price. So he's still sitting on profits. That's a good part. For the next 6 months, do you see the upside getting continued? A target and a support price as well for this one.
It looks like unlikely because Blusa has been trading, sideways, almost sideways, or almost, from September's. So the directional bias is, still missing. I feel the move that we've seen on somewhere around first Feb, it was quite a sign where passive buyers are now getting active. So my sense is now if 1814 levels are secured on closing basis, then we might see some potential upside. I feel 2185 is a level to be watched out. Any movement above that or probably closing above that can invite further bullish momentum. Until then, it's like a wait and watch view.
Okay, let's take another one. मोहित यादव wants to know SML Isuzu पर आपका क्या व्यू है सर? 5 साल के लिए इस स्टॉक के ऊपर आप क्या राय देना चाहेंगे? From the auto space, SML Isuzu, things have been doing better for the stock from the recent past, but how are you looking at the chart right now?
I have a very negative view on SML Isuzu, almost 50% down from the peaks, with no major signs of recovery. Constantly weekly chart पे भी अगर आप देखोगे, the price pattern is trading within your lower highs and lower low price structure. So yeah, my sense is to avoid the stock. Just considering the oversold conditions, एक शायद एक minor bounce आ सकता है, but that can prove to be a dead cat bounce. So it's best to avoid and rather sell your positions if you're holding.
Okay, any suggestion on what is the price that one can look to exit?
Well, a bounce can come up to close to 1465 level odds.
Okay,
That's the
around
risk.
1450, around 1460 kind of levels if you get, then look to exit your positions there if that bounce comes in. But otherwise, it's a bearish trend. This stock is in a sell zone. Next, we'll take Ankur Modi's question. He wants to know on why BEL, Bharat Electronics, is not performing despite good results. Is it overpriced and overvalued? What exactly is the reason for its underperformance? Okay, half odd percent lower in trade right now. Kushal, any suggestion on BEL and why it's underperforming?
Yes, sir. Depends on the entire sector. It had got onto some profit booking and now undergoing some accumulation phase. So I think that's about it. I mean, considering the reaction of results, it shows some minimal drawdowns after that. So I feel it's the buyers and sellers are trying to get into equilibrium. We are just ahead of the resistance that is close to 296. So I think that's a good development. If the price unfolds about 296, 297 odds, we might see a positive trajectory continuing towards 320, 325.
Correct. Let's take the next one. Swati from Punjab writes in and she wants to know on two stocks. One is Power Grid at the rate of 318. She has purchased this stock in her portfolio. The other one is Hoodco where she's bought the stock at 232 odd levels. Okay. Again, pressure points emerging. What would your view be? Sell or average or exit? लेवल भी प्लीज बता दीजिए. ये स्वाति का सवाल है. हुडको 200 के नीचे आ चुका है, परचेज किया गया था 232 पर और पावर ग्रिड खरीदा है 318 पे, ये भी नीचे आ चुका है.
Also, my sense is power grid पे एक selling का ये है because the stock is under distribution, which is an indication कि जो savvy investors होते हैं, आपके smart money investors होते हैं, they're trying to get out of the stock. तो उसका हम इफेक्ट यहाँ पे प्राइस एक्शन में भी देख रहे हैं because the stock is constantly trading with your low highs, low price structure. और अभी तक कोई बॉटम आउट होने की कोई एविडेंसेस नहीं है, और जो रिलेटिव स्ट्रेंथ है एज कम्पेयर टू जनरल मार्केट, दैट इज डिटोरिएटिंग सिग्निफिकेंटली. तो यहाँ पे जो स्ट्रेंथ है वो जरा भी नहीं है स्टॉक में, तो पावर ग्रिड में अभी भी आपको सेलिंग प्रेशर दिख सकती है. So it's best to avoid, or rather if you're holding, just sell कर दीजिए at the current market price.
ठीक है.
Speaking of Hulko, again the stock is trending sideways, और एक demand zone जो है near to 199 से लेके 195 एक बहुत ही crucial demand zone है. So it's trading thinly around the demand zone. So my sense is if that support is broken, selling pressure हमें और भी देख सकता है. तो इसमें hold करिए with a stop loss near 190 191.
Okay. Govind Bhatia says, good day, Sakshi. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much, Govind, for writing in. He's from Dubai and he's watching our show. His question is on Tata Chemicals. 100 shares at the rate of 987. He has a long-term horizon. What's your view on Tata Chemicals right now, Kushal?
Well, Tata Chemicals is again a sell because stock constantly downtrend में trade कर रहा है. It saw a very sharp rejection from its resistance level here 1160. And this downline that we're currently witnessing is much more sharper than the earlier corrections. So my sense is to sell the stock at the current market price. It can invite further selling pressure.
जय किशन जी लिखते हैं, स्टॉक मार्केट्स में एसटीटी, जीएसटी, सर्विस टैक्स, स्टैम्प ड्यूटी, ब्रोकरेजेस, एसटीसीजी, काफ़ी चार्जेस हैं, एनएसडीएल और सीडीएसएल के भी, इसलिए मैं एग्जिट कर रहा हूँ मार्केट्स में. लॉस होने के बाद भी बहुत सारे चार्जेस लग रहे हैं. जय किशन जी, पहले तो स्टॉक मार्केट्स में जो ये चार्जेस आपको लगते हैं, टैक्सेस लगते हैं, ये तो डेफिनेटली है ही, लेकिन आप किसी भी निवेश के ऊपर जाएंगे तो आपको वहाँ टैक्सेस देने पड़ते हैं. तो ऐसा मत सोचिए कि खाली स्टॉक मार्केट्स में ही आपको टैक्स देना पड़ रहा है. अगर आप एफडी करते हैं और अगर आप हाईएस्ट टैक्स ब्रैकेट में आते हैं तो आप उसके लिए भी 30% टैक्स देते हैं. फिर चाहे आपको एफडी में उसमें बेनिफिट मिल भी रहा हो या फिर इन्फ्लेशन आपके सारे रिटर्न्स खा रहा हो या नहीं, ऐसे ही आप जितने भी निवेश के ऑप्शंस देखेंगे, फिर चाहे वो रियल एस्टेट होगा, गोल्ड सिल्वर होगा, टैक्सेस आपको किसी ना किसी फॉर्म में हर जगह देने पड़ते हैं. जी हाँ, ये आपने सही कहा कि आपको लॉसेस अगर हो रहे हैं तो उसके बाद भी आपको चार्जेस भरने पड़ रहे हैं. तो आप ये जान लीजिए कि एसटीसीजी और एलटीसीजी तो केवल कैपिटल गेन्स के ऊपर आपके लिए लगता है. एसटीटी आपको हर ट्रेड के हिसाब से लगता है. और इसके अलावा अगर आप देखेंगे तो जो आपका मैसिव जो है इन्वेस्टमेंट के ऊपर जो टैक्स लगता है कैपिटल गेन्स पर 20% या फिर 12.5%, वो केवल आपके कैपिटल गेन्स पर लगता है. तो अगर आप लॉसेस कमा रहे तो उसके ऊपर आपको टैक्स नहीं भरना पड़ेगा और आप अपने लॉसेस को ऑफसेट भी कर सकते हैं. ये भी प्रावधान है. मान लीजिए इस साल आपने काफ़ी ज़्यादा नुकसान उठाया, कुछ स्टॉक्स को आपने लॉस बुक किया, तो आप अगले साल जब प्रॉफिट बुक करेंगे या अगले 8 वर्षों तक जब किसी स्टॉक्स में सेम अमाउंट का लॉन्ग टर्म के हिसाब से प्रॉफिट्स बुक करेंगे तो लॉन्ग टर्म लॉसेस को आप ऑफसेट कर सकते हैं. और ऐसे ही शॉर्ट टर्म लॉसेस को शॉर्ट टर्म गेन्स के साथ या लॉन्ग टर्म गेन्स के साथ आप ऑफसेट कर सकते हैं. तो इन बातों का ध्यान रखिए. अपने सीए से ज़रूर बात कीजिए. एकाएक क्विट करने का डिसीजन आप मत लीजिए, ये हमारी दरख्वास्त होगी आपसे. तो डेफिनेटली आप सीए से बात करें, देखें कि आप कैसे टैक्सेस कम कर सकते हैं वहाँ पर. लेकिन अगर आपको लॉस भी हो रहा है तो भी आप काफ़ी फ़ायदा उठा सकते हैं, क्योंकि आपको यहाँ ऑफसेट करने का मौका मिलता है जो एफडी या किसी भी और फॉर्मेट में आपको रेयरली देखने को मिलता है. तो इन बातों का ज़रूर ध्यान दीजिए. कुशल, क्या आप बताना चाहेंगे ऐसे व्यूअर्स को जो लॉसेस को देखकर घबरा रहे हैं और निवेश से एग्जिट करना चाहते हैं?
I think moreover, you pointed out rightly कि आपको टैक्सेस वगैरह चार्जेस सब में लगते ही है. बट जस्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्टॉक मार्केट्स आई वुड रेकमेंड कि अगर आप इन्वेस्टमेंट्स कर रहे हो तो आप खुद का रिसर्च भी करिए. एंड बिफोर इन्वेस्टिंग मनी आई थिंक आपके यू शुड हैव योर मोर स्टडी होना चाहिए आपकी, आप क्यों इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो और आप क्यों एग्जिट कर रहे हो. आप रैंडमली किसी टिप्स के पे या किसी रिसर्च हाउस में बेस्ड होकर आप ना करिए.
एब्सोल्युटली कुशल। तो उम्मीद करते हैं जय किशन जी आपने एक्सपर्ट की बात सुनी और आप हमारी बात सुनकर एक बार फिर से निवेश की ओर अपना कदम बढ़ाएंगे और ऐसे गेम को क्विट करके नहीं जाएंगे। लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए वेल्थ क्रिएशन का स्टॉक मार्केट्स को बहुत ही बढ़िया एसेट क्लास माना जाता है। तो आप सही गाइडेंस के साथ आगे बढ़े तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि आपको प्रॉफिट्स भी ज़रूर होंगे और टैक्सेस भी देना आपको ज़्यादा नुकसान नहीं लगेगा या फिर आपको ज़्यादा खलेगा नहीं। लेट्स टेक द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। दिस वन इज़ फ्रॉम one of our viewers, Krishna Arjun Rao. He has not actually written any question. We'll go to some stocks that are coming in. Okay, Vineet writes in, he says, I want to know stocks for summers for the next 4 months. And I want to know whether Varun Beverages or a Symphony or a Voltas or a Vadilal or a Dabur could be really looked at. It's an interesting one. फाइनली आपने हमें याद दिला दिया विनीत जी कि फाइनली समर्स आने वाली है और काफ़ी लंबे अरसे के इस एटलीस्ट हम लोग जो दिल्ली में हैं हम लोगों ने काफ़ी सर्दियां इस बार एक्सपीरियंस की है और उसके बाद जल्द ही अब समर्स का भी ऑनसेट होता हुआ नज़र आ रहा है बिकॉज सन हैज़ गॉट रियली ब्राइट एंड हॉट इन द मॉर्निंग टाइम्स. सो एनी समर रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स दैट वन शुड बी बेटिंग बिग ऑन? डू यू थिंक cooler makers, ice cream makers should be looked at, maybe even Pepsi makers like Varun Beverages, all these stocks that he suggested? Anything that looks promising to you, Kushal?
From beverage counters, I don't see any traction within the FMCG sector. But again, अगर आप summer case पे पूछ रहे हो तो I think Amber Enterprise is something that looks like a very lucrative counter. Again, आप primary trend देखोगे तो काफी positive है ही. And right now with some profit booking, it's giving some a very lucrative risk to reward ratio. Shorter term moving averages पे आके support ले रहा है. So yeah, from a sum up pick, I would rather go with Amber Enterprises, considering current market conditions also. जिस हिसाब से strength दिखा रहा है, so I think that is nice. Volatility काफी कम है stock में. So I think in challenges time, Amber Enterprise can do well. So my sense is to buy the stock with a stop loss near 6334. On the upside, my immediate target is 8,000.
All right. Okay then. Well, we are going to be now winding up our show. But before going, Kushal, if you could suggest any of your recently researched stocks that you are betting big on, despite all this consolidation, where do you think long term there could be promising returns coming in? Any one or two stocks that you can suggest?
Two stocks to recommend. One is, Larsen and Turbo, some classic capitalization happening in the stock. We've seen some smart money participation happening, during the up leg in October. So that tells you that, it's quite in the demand zone. The risk reward is quite lucrative. So LT is one of my picks. I'm expecting 12 to 13% on the upside. And second counter would be Tata Consumer. Again, the stock has come down to some a very nice demand zone, which is called the fair value gap area. So that rather bolsters more support. So my sense is to buy Tata Consumer for an upside of 15 to 16% on the upside.
Okay, got that. Thank you so much, Kushal, for being on the show. Hope you enjoyed, getting all the questions from our viewers for you. Hope to see you back soon in another edition of Daily Calls as well. And I hope you have a great time till the time we see you next. Thank you so much for being here with us. All right, viewers, 200 points down. Not really looking good on the markets today. 23,359. And we are seeing an across-the-board sell-off. It's a broad-based sell-off, be it the benchmarks, be it the sectoral action, as well as even the mid and the small caps. It's a weak day so far, and it's been a choppy one as well. There has been no real attempt to bounce back from the lows of the day. But let's see, we still have about 2.5 hours remaining for the day. If the sentiments improve, we'll just have to see whether there is any fresh trigger that pulls the market from these lows of the day too. Or do we actually see some more pressure coming in the next few days as well? We'll wrap it up at that, but do stay tuned. Throughout the course of the day, you'll hear from market experts helping you out in this current setup in the market as to the new strategies that you should be adopting. Stay tuned.
Karnataka is India's ultimate startup destination with over 14,000 registered startups and 45 unicorns. Bangalore, proudly known as the nation's startup capital, ranks third globally in the number of startups, cementing its place as a powerhouse of innovation. The city also has 144 incubators and accelerators and 1,500 plus VC funds. Karnataka's success is further driven by strong industry-government collaboration, a bold entrepreneurial spirit, and cutting-edge R&D hubs of global giants. As we approach our Global Investors Meet, I eagerly look forward to recognizing and rewarding the startups shortlisted through Venturize, our international startup challenge. Venturize is set to boost startup ecosystem and drive innovation and entrepreneurship across the country. Join us as we accelerate growth and shape the future through Invest Karnataka 25.
Good morning and namaskar. The Monetary Policy Committee met on 5th, 6th yesterday, 7th today of this month. You are all aware that the governor's statement after